Well, hello, friend. Oh my goodness, I am literally so excited for this episode because as I was writing this episode script, I just kept thinking about how valuable this info is and how much I wish I had this info when I had first started my business, and then also just the fact that reminding myself right now of it as I'm going into this new year and I'm starting to plan. It's just making me super excited. So I cannot wait to share this gold mine with you. And so, yeah, let's get into it. You are listening to Homeschool Moms in Business, where I help homeschooling moms gain clarity and create effective, systemized business plans around their creative passions, empowering them to confidently launch and grow their businesses while only working 10 hours or less a week. I'm Samantha Welch, a homeschool mom and creative business coach who turned my photography passion into a thriving business, all while keeping my schedule manageable and family-centered, and I'm here to help you do the same. So today we're going to talk about something that I truly believe can transform how you approach both your business and life, and that is goal setting. But not just any goals, because I feel like it's everybody. Oh, what's your goals? What's your goals? But we're going to actually be diving into how to set goals that you'll actually stick with, goals that are meaningful, actionable, and realistic with us as homeschooling mompreneurs. I know that life can get super overwhelming. Between homeschooling, running a household, managing your business, it's easy to set big goals that quickly get sidelined and you just end up feeling discouraged because you never end up reaching them. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be that way. And so that's what I want to do. I want to walk you through this simple, effective strategy to create goals that will actually work for us and not against us. So, if you're listening to this at your desk, and you can grab a notebook and take some notes. If you're not a note taker, that's cool. Listen to me while you're doing other things, because that's how I roll too. And then come back and make sure you visit the description or the show notes so that you can actually take these frameworks and apply them. Okay, so goal setting. Let's talk about the why and the how of setting goals. First, why do many of us set goals but struggle to achieve them? Well, a lot of it comes down to the way we approach goal setting. So if your goals are too vague or overly ambitious, they're going to feel impossible to reach. And when goals feel impossible, they tend to get pushed to the back burner, especially when life just gets busy, and it always is. So I want to fix that. I'm going to share 3 essential tips to help you actually set goals that stick. So the first tip is I actually want you to pray through your vision. This is super important. Don't skip this for the actionable steps. I really want you to think about this. Before you set a goal, take time to pray and ask God for guidance. Reflect on your current season of life and responsibilities. What is God actually calling you to focus on? What truly matters to you? When you approach goal setting through prayer and realistic, that's the key, realistic examination of your life, you're aligning your goals with your values and purpose. So here are some realistic examples for your life. The first thing is evaluate your time. How many hours can you realistically dedicate to this goal each week? If you only have 5 hours, set goals that fit within that time frame. And I know this for myself. I tend to get overly ambitious where I'll set this hefty goal and I only have so much time. I'm like, oh, I can fit it all in. And the fact is I can't. I would rather you underestimate the time you actually have and set a goal for that, because then when you achieve that goal, it will give you the momentum to keep going on other things instead of over-evaluating your time and then feeling overwhelmed and discouraged because you can't get that goal in. The next thing is assess your energy. Are you in a season where you can take on something new? That is a very real question. And as homeschooling moms who are also running the household and doing everything, sometimes it's a season, especially if we have little ones or our kids are in a particularly tough grade. This just may not be a time you can take something new. Also consider your priorities. Look at what's important in your season, your family, business, faith, and make sure that your new goals align with what's actually important with you. This reflection will help you craft your goals so that they're both realistic and God-honoring. The second tip is to make your goals SMART. Okay, so I don't know if you've heard of SMART goals, but the SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So let's break that down even further with some detailed examples to make it really clear and actionable for you. So let's do a business example first with a SMART goal. Instead of saying, I want to grow my business, which is super vague and like, okay, awesome, yay, you want to grow your business. I want you to try and say, I want to book 3 clients for family photo sessions by the end of the month. And then let's break this down. So the specific is, you're not just saying you want growth, you're actually targeting clients booking. Measurable is 3 clients. That's a very clear, countable number. The achievable is booking 3 clients in a month. That's realistic for you. And if you have the right marketing strategies in place or whatever, that's easily done. Relevant is, this goal aligns with growing my photography business. And then time bound is, you've set a very clear deadline of in 1 month. So you have 1 month to do this. I just love that. And of course, this could be applied to other business or something. This is just kind of showing you like a real life example of how to break that down. So let's talk about like a personal life example now, because not only do we want to have goals in our business, of course, but we got to have goals in our personal life too. So when I wanted to organize my homeschool schedule, my SMART goal was, I will create a weekly homeschool plan for my kids every Monday morning, dedicating 30 minutes to reviewing lessons and activities. And then I broke it down. So my specific was focus on creating a weekly plan, making sure they know exactly what they need to do that week. Measurable was 30 minutes. That's all I got, 30 minutes. The achievable was on Monday mornings, like first thing Monday morning. The relevant is aligns with maintaining a structured homeschool routine. And then the time bound is it happens every Monday morning. So it's a weekly schedule that goes on my calendar. And so that just made it so much easier for me, instead of just saying like, I got to get my homeschool schedule together and then like just leaving it. Like, because what the heck does that mean? That's why it is so important for us to break our goals down into SMART goals. Okay, tip 3 is break it down and celebrate wins. Big goals can feel intimidating, but breaking them into smaller steps makes them manageable. For example, if you want to start meal planning, don't aim to plan an entire month at once. Start with planning like 3 dinners for the upcoming week, and then you can gradually build from there. And then don't forget to celebrate that progress. If you successfully did the 3 meals that you scheduled, celebrate that. Every step forward is worth acknowledging. So celebrating small wins can help keep you motivated and help you see just how far you've come, because 3 planned meals a week is better than no planned meals a week, or whatever example you want to put in there. Tip number 4 is something that I almost nerd out a bit on, and that's habit stacking for my goals. So this is another powerful strategy for goal setting, and habit stacking is a way to build new habits by pairing them with existing ones. And a lot of times to achieve a goal, we have to have a habit. So it's especially helpful when you're trying to incorporate something new into like an already busy schedule. So here's how it might work. You identify a habit you do already consistently, something like, making your morning coffee or brushing your teeth or your homeschooling time. And then you stack your new goal or habit onto it. So for an example of habit stacking, let's just do like a business example. So if your goal is to post consistently on social media, maybe you stack that with your coffee making routine. So while you're waiting for your coffee to brew, you spend 5 minutes drafting and scheduling a post. Like, that could work. Or how about a homeschool example? If your goal is to read more for personal growth, which is my goal for this year, stack it with your kids' quiet time. So while they're doing independent reading or you've got them all working on their own projects, go ahead, grab your book, or even just listen to an audiobook and do that while they're doing their quiet stuff. A personal example might be if your goal is to drink more water, which is another goal of mine. I have to use real life examples, y'all. Stack it with meals. So commit to drinking a full glass of water before every meal as part of your routine. And I'm legit, actually all of these goals I'm legit doing. But anyway, and then for a faith example, if your goal is to deepen your prayer life, stack it with a daily task like maybe loading the dishwasher, or I walk the trash to the road and I have a pretty long driveway, and so I can use that time to pray and reflect. Just something like that. By tying new habits to existing ones, you can create a natural reminder and structure that makes it easier for you to actually stick with your goals. Okay. All right. I hope you found this so helpful. I love this kind of subject. I love goal setting. I love all this stuff. So I want to encourage you now. It is your turn to take action. I would love for you to spend some time this week really praying about your goals, writing them down. Use the SMART framework to create one business goal, one personal goal, and then explore how you can incorporate habit stacking to make these goals easier to achieve. And if you need somebody who will just kind of help nerd out with you on goal setting, be sure to message me on Instagram. I would love to hear what your goals are and how you're going to incorporate SMART goals and habit stacking. Thanks for spending time with me today, and I cannot wait to see you go and achieve your goals. I hope you walked away from this episode inspired to go and implement these things into your life and business. Remember to head to the show notes to get any links, guides, or discounts that were mentioned. And while you're there, leave me a 5-star review. Your feedback is the only way that I know you're enjoying and finding this podcast helpful. Until next episode, remember, it's those small daily steps that build big dreams.